Hi, and welcome to the We Needy Roads podcast. I'm your host, Neil, and I'm joined by my OG co-host and horror fiend, who is having quite the year for horror. It's David. How's it going, mate?
It's good, man. It is quite the year for horror. I saw the other day, even before we've had this wave of weapons, that horror in the UK has already grossed more money in this year than it did all of last year.
And we haven't even got to Halloween, man.
I know. It's amazing. Yes, 2025, the year of horror.
Now, my first question for you, David, is: does Evelyn wake you up at 2:17 a.m. in the morning and trying to leave the house?
What, like running outside, catching her on the Ring doorbell? If she did, that would
Yeah.
be the freakiest thing in the world because she can't walk yet. She'd just be imagine a little 1-year-old that's just still toddling around like on a crawling about, just stand up and be airplane out the door.
You'd just be like, how did you get out here? Boom, pick her up.
They should have done that in this film. They should have had they should have made gone real dark with it, with how the film goes, and have a little proper baby be like toddlered out.
Oh, and yeah, and if you haven't guessed yet, we are going to be talking the good, the bad, and not just what the fuck. Because for this film, it is a what in the actual fuck moments from Zach Creggers' Weapons. But first, David, your initial brief thoughts on the film.
Yeah, I loved Weapons. I think Zach Creger is like fully established himself now as like one of the new faces of horror. His original writing is excellent, and this was a solid like 4.5, 5 out of star film for me.
Nice. Yeah, for me, same, mate. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the build up of the mystery. All the performances were top tier in it. And it was really narratively creative for a horror film. I only had one minor quibble with the film, which we're going to talk about later. So this is only Zach Creger's second film after the Barnstorming Barbarian from 2022. And there is definitely no, and as they say in the States, Jose, I would appreciate this, there is no sophomore slump for Creger. But first, what is Weapons all about? And I'm going to keep this fairly brief because we're going to get into everything in this spoiler special. The plot follows a seemingly inexplicable case of 17 children from the same classroom mysteriously running away on the same night, with only one child, Alex Lilly, remaining. So obviously the police naturally investigate him, and then suspicion falls on the class's teacher, Miss Gandhi, who locals accuse of being a witch. Then we spend a little bit of time with Miss Gandhi and find out how she's dealing with it all, and then the film begins to switch Magnolia style between all the different characters. And as the film progresses through the different chapters, we begin to piece together what is happening before we get to the big reveal with the last character. So first up, the good. And the first thing for me is the initial setup and mystery of why the kids disappeared was superbly crafted. Like, the Ring doorbell footage was so super creepy. And it felt like that prime Stephen King to me. It felt like that, when you've got this brilliant setup. Oh, it's awesome. Where's it going? And then you're usually like, oh, with a Stephen King book, or a lot of them. With this, I was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm so in. I'm so dialed into where this is going.
Yeah, the use of the Ring doorbells, just like generally having a horror film set in modern day and using like all the modern day technologies and everything like that. Like, you would see it on a Ring doorbell, these kids leaving, and you would you would know that's the exact same time that the kids left the house.
Yeah.
Because it would capture it, and it was proper freaky seeing all the kids just like running out doing their little thing with the soundtrack that they used as well at the opening scene of them all running out.
The opening needle drop is, I had to look this up because I didn't know it myself, George Harrison's Beware of Darkness.
It worked really well, and it complemented the creepy child voice at the very beginning,
Oh, yeah.
being well, it's all over the trailers. Like, it's
It's on the
essentially,
poster.
the little kid's voice. Just you hear it in the trailer, but it's the very opening scene, and it's just super creepy. It sets the tone perfectly throughout the rest of the film.
But didn't you think that voiceover, it reminded me of The Monkey a little bit? Because it literally has almost a similar line where the little girl goes, and lots of people died.
Yeah, lots of people died in really weird ways in this story. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think is what she says.
The monkey, it's lots of people died in really fucked up ways. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, similar kind of thing. And it did that kind of tonal shifts between horror and comedy. It really did have that in common with it as well, I thought.
Yeah, the dark humor like that's just spread throughout this film was done really well, and like that non-linear approach to its storytelling
Oh, yeah.
it was done so well. Like you said, like that initial mystery of how the kids escaped, because you're just running through all the options, until it is revealed to you in the third act
Mm.
of the movie. So you're thinking like, what could it be? Could it be aliens? Could it be some sort of like
Cults.
experiment? Could it be a cult? Yeah. There's just and could it be a witch? There's all of these things that it's like you're running through. It's like, what could it be? And it hides that mystery so well. And
What did you think? What were your options when you were thinking about it? What was some of the things you thought? 'Cause I had 2 I thought it could be.
I thought it could be something to do with the cell tower because
Yes! That was it. I had that.
yeah, because they use that cell tower as a reference point for something. I think it's just
When
where the
he's
kids are
coming up with the
running.
map. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
triangulating it from there. And I was like, "Oh, is it like Cell where, like, the phone signal and kids?" And that could be a whole that could have been a really good subtext about kids and phones, couldn't it? Ooh.
Yeah, so you are like immediately sort of drawn to it and think, oh, okay, is it something to do with that? But that was almost like oh, was like a red herring kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing because it had nothing to do with it. But then they actually gave you the answer really early on as to what it is because they literally brand somebody
A witch.
a witch from the beginning, pretty much.
But you don't know that because that's the thing. It's giving you all these potential options of what the story could be. Like you're saying, you're thinking it could be aliens, it could be a cult, it could be a witch, it could be the cell tower.
She's like a witch succubus woman,
Yeah.
crazy lady.
Before we get into the crazy lady, witch succubus lady, I want to talk about the structure a little bit more because I haven't seen a structure like this in a horror film before. I mean, I'm sure it's been done. I just can't think of one. The structure, and director Craig has said this was an influence as well, is Magnolia. David, do you remember seeing Magnolia?
Have seen it, but a long time when it came out. When did that film come out? Like
It might have even been in the late
2008?
90s.
Was it not? No, that weren't late. I'm not that old.
I feel like it's like a 99 or
I was
97
like
or something.
2000 oh my god, it is.
Yeah, what year
Oh
is it?
my god, it is 1999.
Well, hey, I thought it was 99. Yeah, because
I added like 10 years onto that film. I'm not that old, Neil.
99 was it. I mean, you are clearly. That could just be fatherhood talking, to be fair. 99, that was a good year, man. The Matrix, Fight Club, and yeah, Magnolia.
Yeah, but that non-linear approach that he takes from Magnolia is yeah, it's done so well where you just add a little bit extra to the story. There's a little bit of a reveal, there's a little bit more information that goes on in every person's POV that just like the jigsaw pieces sort of falling into place but all over the board.
Well, yeah, you can tell me if I've got this right because I think there was 6 different chapters, 6 different POVs. You've
Well,
got
let's go through them. Let's go through them. Yeah.
well, you got
So,
Justine, the
yep.
school teacher, where we start with.
So yeah, the school teacher first, and then the dad
The dad,
second, I think,
Archer,
and
yeah,
then it's the cop,
Thanos. And then last of all is Alex the kid. So
James.
Justine,
Yeah.
Justine, Justine Archer, Marcus, Paul, James, Alex, I think. But they are the 6 chapters. But what I liked about it was I didn't know the film was going to do that. So
No, I didn't know either.
you see all the marketing was
The
great.
marketing was done it was so on point
The only
for
names
this.
above the cast were Julia Garner and Josh Brolin. They were like the names, weren't they?
Yeah, and like, I don't know whether it's all because of the marketing, but this film has made an absolute killing at the box office so far.
Well, yeah, let's do that now because I've got a note here somewhere. It has taken currently it is number one as we
It's
record
already
this.
made profit on
Yeah,
what its budget was, which is
it
amazing.
cost I think it cost roughly $38 million, and at the time we record it today, it has taken 72 million globally on the opening weekend.
That's insane. It shows like what does that show you? It's like people are still interested in original
What a
movies.
surprise, right?
I know, like horror is still fucking popular, which is great. The adverts, the marketing for that was amazing. I feel like the reviews probably helped it as well
And the word
because
of
there was a
mouth. It had a really
lot of like
positive.
4 or 5 star reviews for it, and yeah, like you said, word of mouth. This film was properly done really well, and probably like the success of Barbarian as well, and the fact that
Yeah.
Barbarian was a great horror film that just came out of nowhere by a bloke that was a comedian that's just decided to be like, yeah, I'm a horror director now. Like loads of different comedians have decided to do and be amazing at it.
So, what has Hollywood learned from this?
Probably
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
They'll just
Absolutely
go and
nothing.
try and make sequels to all these
Yeah,
films, won't they?
We'll get a Sinners 2 or some shit, and
Already trying to do it.
we'll get a Weapons 3 or like
It'll be Weapons with a Z,
yeah, yeah,
Freaking
yeah,
on
yeah.
Street. Now, the cast, this is like a mini MCU reunion. Like, obviously, Julia Garner's just played the Silver Surfer. We have Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. We've got Benedict Wonga's himself in it. And then we've also got Alden Ehrenreich, who you didn't recognize, David, who has just appeared in Ironheart.
I didn't. It was the mustache.
But
It
I
was
won't
the.
give away the role he plays in Ironheart because who he is kind of like a mini spoiler if anyone's actually going to watch Ironheart. Do you know what? It's okay. I didn't like the first episode. It got better, and then a certain
Well, this
other
isn't
actor
an
turned up.
Ironheart podcast, so who
And this
cares?
isn't an Ironheart. Exactly. But yeah, Alden Ehrenreich. I like to see him doing well because I feel sorry for him a little bit because Solo, everyone was like, no, no low. And then he kind of disappeared for a little bit.
If you've been cast as
Young Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford, you're never gonna. It was never gonna be successful, was it? Yeah. But him with the mustache, and his character in this. I mean, he was despicable, the character,
Oh, yeah.
but like you couldn't help but still kind of like him
And that's a
in a
really hard
weird
thing
way,
to
and it
pull off
is
in
a
a
hard
performance.
thing to do because the guy's a complete scumbag.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a proper dirt bastard, and I was, but then you still kind of like, you still kind of like him in a weird way. He's sucking up to his stepdad or soon to be stepdad or whatever the fuck he was.
Father-in-law.
Oh man, what an absolute dick! But like,
It's all right. He got three hypodermic needles in the face.
he did like that scene where we could get into random scenes, but where
Yeah.
he's like frisking James, who we've seen already in somebody else's point of view. So all the characters are in different scenes throughout, spread
And they're
sporadically, and then you're
introduced
like,
really well as well.
yeah, yeah, they are, and then you get like their point of view later on in the film. But James, he's like, "Have you got any needles on you? If I put my fingers in your pockets, I'm not gonna get stabbed by anything." And the dude's like, "Nah, I ain't got nothing, man. Nah, 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 nah." Second, he puts his hands in his pocket, he gets jabbed by what I'm assuming is heroin, and he just immediately punches him in the face. And you're like, you know what? I'm not a police officer. That's probably what I'd have done if I'd have been like, "Fuck you!"
You dirty
Bang.
junkie scum.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to talk a little bit. Yeah, let's get into the cast. So, Julia Garner. I mean, she's just. I mean, did you ever watch Ozark,
No, I didn't.
dude?
I watched like one or two episodes.
She is like the undoubted star of that show, man. She was so good in it.
Was she the daughter?
No, she
Who is
is
she?
the local redneck girl who starts working for Marty.
Okay.
It's just she's just superb in it. She's so good, so good. I think she won the Emmy for Best Supporting Actress every year she was nominated for that show. When that show was out, that's how good her performance was. And I mean, I don't think she's really put her foot wrong. She did do that Netflix series playing that Russian scammer girl that apparently wasn't very good. But like, that's it. Because like, yeah, Silver Surfer. She was brilliant as a Silver Surfer in
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I thought she was better in this. Like her performance in this was so compelling. Like you properly felt for her.
And that's what I liked about her performance, man. It's she plays the teacher of the class, Justine Gandy, who's accused of being a witch. And how many actresses would have just played the simple, "Oh, I'm traumatized and sad" performance? But she kind of deals with it and starts moving on. I would not, and you wouldn't expect her to see. I like that she's got like an alcohol problem. I mean, I don't like alcohol problems, but I like it's a nice character trait for her to have. Like she's dealing with that by having a drink.
So at this point in the film, they've run the investigation. The kids have gone missing. They haven't been able to find them. It's been X amount of months. School's
Yeah,
back in, and she has essentially been suspended
yeah.
from teaching. So she's got literally nothing to do with her time except like fixate over certain details, certain things that happen during the day.
And the one remaining child, Alex.
And the one remaining child, like she just wants to talk to him, and she wants to talk to him, so she gets closure. And Wong is specifically like, yeah,
Principal Wong. Yeah,
ain't yeah, Principal Wong, who's is specifically like, ain't your fucking, it's ain't your trauma, the kids' trauma as well. Kids are responsibility. It ain't about you here. And you're like, you know what, Wong? There's
that's
some,
yeah.
you're kind of right there, Wong. That is, even though you've spent the entire time with her and you kind of want her to know and understand, but then you're like, yeah, yeah, it is about the kid.
That is why you are the Sorcerer Supreme One.
He gets it right.
And well, how she take this? Well, she gets dressed up nicely and she goes for a drink for a nice night out, and then calls up her ex for a booty call.
Bit of texting, maybe a bit of flirtatious texting going on. If I send you a text, mate, just going, hey, I'm up for a booty call.
I'm just like David's drunk again. Yeah. But no, what made me laugh is like you say in her POV, you see it just cuts and they're like it's like the next morning. You don't see them cooking up that night, but when we see it from his point of view, it cuts from them to the bar to like about 5 seconds of them like furiously shagging, and then it cuts back to it. I was like, it's just like a really comedic beat again, and you're like, this film's funny. And of course, then like you said, him being a scumbag, he's cheating on his missus with her, and he's been drinking,
Yeah.
and he's fallen off the wagon again. and yeah, then he starts beating up other people. Let's talk quickly a little bit about Thanos, Josh Brolin's character, Archer.
Okay. If we're on characters, yeah,
Yeah.
because I just wanted to say during her point of view though, was some of the best like camera work.
Oh yeah.
That like it was like how you set the scare of because she's being harassed because everybody thinks that she's that she's a witch or that she's the responsibility behind the children that have gone missing. There's like dread in every
Frame.
like in every scene that she's in. There's like, is this person stalking her? Like, what's this? You can see Thanos's car in the background at one scene. It's just got the headlights on, and she sort of like
I love that
ignores
we're
it,
still
but
calling him Thanos.
it's there. Yeah. But it's there. Josh Brolin's character, what was his name? Sorry,
Archer.
Archer. When she gets the knocks at the door, and just like the framing of it, just the slow pan, the slow camera movements, like the camera movements match the pacing and the theme of the film just so well, and it's such like an invisible but purposeful way.
That's what I like in films. I'm not a big fan of jump scares that are done with loud music and just moving the camera to make you go, ah!
Unwarranted, yeah, which
Yeah,
this did have one of, and it was I'll get to it in the bad.
which is fair enough. But what I love in a horror film is slow dread, where the camera's slowly moving and you're like, what's in that space where there is nothing? Why are they showing us it? There's got to be something there. It's that kind of thing. And I really like that. And this film
Yeah.
did that so
The
well.
the scene where she's like checking out the kid's house, and it's all
Yeah.
like all there's newspaper fittings all over it, but there's like one window that's just got the tiniest gap that she can still see through, and as she's looking, she's just eyes wandering, and then you know there's a jump scare coming there, but it still fucking gets you.
But it doesn't jump massively.
It's
It
not
wasn't
like a
like
no, it's
just
not like a
slow and you're like, oh, there's
yeah.
someone there. And then you just see someone cut her hair and you're like, what the fuck's going on?
I know we've already touched upon the how they narratively uh, the film builds together, but how the film also uses like dream sequences, but have the dream sequences actually matter to the plot and have it not be like a oh it was a dream all along
Yeah, yeah.
moment, but
But
have
then
it
why
reveal
were they
something
dreaming
that
of it? That's the only thing is because if the witch didn't have the hair of the other people, how was she affecting them? That's what I couldn't understand.
what how was she affecting Archer
So yeah, like
or
Archer sees that vision of his son with the kind of makeup on it, and I was just like, hmm. Although, like, when James sees her out in the woods, and she's like,
yeah
that was
yeah
hilarious. But that was
yeah
very it, wasn't it?
this yeah it was yeah.
That's what I was going to mention. You were saying about the cinematography. I saw a little behind the scenes clip today on Instagram by one of the camera ops or DP of the film. It shows you the scene where she's being chased in the supermarket. Cameraman is on skates, man. He's on roller
That's
skates to do that,
that's cool.
and the camera
What,
op,
by chased by Wong in the
yeah,
supermarket, or chased by the wife?
it's what
Okay,
when one's chasing her.
okay,
Yeah, because it's really fast, isn't it? She's
yeah,
like running, and then the camera's like right behind there. The camera op is a professional skater as well. So like, two good.
You can't just be a camera operator these
No,
days. You got
gotta
to
be a
be like an ice
professional skater.
skater, or you got to be a surfer.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to move that camera in a very specific way.
But I was just like, "That's awesome!" Because of that immediacy and how it just gave you so much more kineticism to the scene when you're watching it. What did we think of Archer Thanos?
I think yeah, no, I really liked him. Like as a father, he's just like just trying to get on with his day, but he's obviously got this concentration lapse because he's getting like orders wrong and he's getting like
Yeah, which you would, wouldn't you? You
yeah
would be fucking up your job if that had happened, man.
your kid's just essentially gone
Gone camping.
missing. The police have essentially given up trying to find
Yeah,
them, but even though they had, they haven't officially given up. The police were pretty fucking useless
yeah.
at actually trying to find anyone or do
I mean, come
anything.
on, we had
They were
Paul.
pretty useless in Barbarian as well. Maybe that's just a thing in Kreger's films that just police are just pretty
Grab
useless.
cops.
Yeah, we got Dirtbag Cop, but he tried, bless him. Like he at least followed the tip. I liked Archer. I
What I
thought,
liked about him as well, he starts off like the stereotypical dad in these type of films. Oh, blah blah blah. But then when Wong goes nuts and starts attacking everyone, he's like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And then I love that he just immediately starts trying to team up and help Justine.
yeah, he changed. He changes. You never. What the one big thing that this film had was its unpredictability.
Yeah,
You couldn't predict what a character was going to do or where the film was going to go next because, like you said, like you felt like there was going to be this massive confrontation at the petrol station, And
Yeah,
there was a massive confrontation at the petrol station.
just not the one we thought.
Definitely, definitely wasn't the one you was expecting. And then even like at the climax of the movie, you think like, okay, the character, okay, now he's going to go and save her, or now she's going to go and help him out, or do this. But they don't like they don't interact with each other.
No, they just go and do
Kind
their
of
own
really
thing.
like there's an interaction like there is a save, but like he goes one way, she goes another way,
Yeah.
and it's like there's no like
Yeah, actually, that's there wasn't any kind of
you can't
real ending
actually
for her on that, was it?
there's no like you can't predict what they were going to do because they were doing what their characters probably would do, but not what movie characters
Hmm.
might do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I liked about it. Like, narratively, it was clever, like, the characters weren't predictable, they did act as characters, they weren't like stereotypes, which you
But
get a
you're
lot
right.
in
Yeah,
horror.
his like just twist. Well, it wasn't really a twist. It was just like turn of like thought. Like okay, maybe it isn't this girl.
Yeah,
Maybe someone else is
bearing
up
in
to
mind,
it.
zombie
Maybe she
teacher.
isn't that suspicious.
So speaking of, zombies, let's call him zombies. Yeah, let's talk, Marcus the principal. It's always nice to see Benedict Wong, and you forget that he's English.
You do forget that he's English.
It's
Yeah.
only Free Body Problem when he got to use his regular Mancunian accent. You're like, holy shit. He wasn't in it loads, but again, like you mentioned earlier on, his scene where he's like, no, this is absolutely not what you're going to do. And he's like, yeah, Wong, you're a good teacher.
It was Wong's point of view where we get the reveal of
Yes.
what's happening as well,
And
and
who?
that scene is bloody scary. Like it's
Aunt Gladys fuck shit up,
and
man.
you are it's one of those scenes where you
Why
are
did
just
she want the
fucking
bowl? Why
where
did
you're
she want the bowl?
screaming at the telly, like you're like, "Fuck! Why don't like stupid other partner?" The bloke saying, "Don't come in." Like listen to your partner. Don't just be like, "Oh yeah, come on in." Like no, there's boundaries here. There's teacher parent boundaries, and you've crossed them. You've crossed them, partner.
And then you're going to get headbutted to oblivion. Let's move on to the, tonal shift of the film, the comedy section. Our man Austin Abrams as James. Oh, James. Just
James, he just wanted money. He just wanted to get high.
that's all he
That's
wanted to
all he
do, man.
wanted. He has a simple life. He just wanted to get high. But it's through James that we get to see inside the house for the first time. It's so funny where he's just like where he sees them sitting on the couch and he's like, whoa, fucking hell, I'm sorry. And then he just continues to rob
And then
them
he
anyway.
continues to thieve, yeah. Now, I even loved how, he gets introduced in, Justine's POV as, like, the guy outside the store asking for, if he's got any money for bus fare heroin.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Like we mentioned, he's got his tent out in the woods and, all his scenes with Paul.
Just-
But like you say, when you see it from Paul's point of view, it's not as funny. You're like, oh shit, this is a you're kind of not on Paul's side, but each POV is really well crafted to get you on that character's side. And then when we see that scene from James's point of view, we're like, fuck you, Paul.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You deserve those hypodermic needles in the face.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we've already established, Paul was a dirtbag,
Yeah.
but James is he just dude just wanted to get high and just he wanted money, get it
To get
anyway.
high.
Just as he's just walking down the streets, just trying car doors to be like bam, 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 and he gets really lucky with one car door. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm in. And he sees the reward poster for like 50 grand for knowledge on the children. I just imagine, dude. Imagine the party he can have in that tent with 50
Oh, he'd
grand.
OD. He'd be dead. He'd OD on some good,
He'd have
stuff.
a good time in that tent.
Although then what made me laugh is, again, the perfect cut when they send a cop to meet him, and that cop's Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it isn't,
No.
because he goes to the police station.
Yeah. So he's going to the police station to report the crime. Or no, to report that he's seen the children so he can get the reward money because he can't because he's on the phone to him being
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I don't really want to go to the clubs, oh, I don't believe in you know, being all sketchy about it as you would." And
being a
then
drug dealer.
and yeah, then that's where he sees him and he's like because he's come up with this deal because he punched him in the face on webcam. They were like, "Don't come near me. Don't come if I fucking see you again." Like, and he's scared that he's going to report him and lose his job,
Yeah.
so he chases him off. And
Yeah,
that's
it's very
where it's
clever, man.
only the two of them that go to the house because James has already found the children. He's the point of view that we see what actually happens to these kids, and they're all just standing creepily in the basement.
But I love how he doesn't click straight away. He's just
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
yeah, damn." And then it's
That's
only when he
fucking
sees the poster,
crazy.
he's just like, Oh, wait, yeah, I know where they are. They're in the basement just down the road,
Yes, because he just wants to get high, and probably
right?
doesn't even know they've gone missing.
Do you know who he reminded me of? Jason Mewes, who plays Jay in any of the Kevin Smith films.
Okay.
He was that kind of performance, man. I was just like, "Oh, it's, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob." And, of course, this brings us on to, Alex and the sadder chapter of the film. I mean, that poor kid, man, he was just getting gaslighted to fuck by, Aunt Gladys. Like, I don't even think she was his aunt. I think she just, like, rocked up at the house, like, hypnotized the parents and was like, "Oh, no, no, because
They
they are
must
like
have
my
been
aunt."
art because she was they invited themselves over. Like, she was invited over by the parents because she was poorly, so she was gonna look
Yeah.
after him for a bit, and then immediately starts succubusing them.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, and, the parents aren't a good enough meal, I guess." So she's like,
Yeah.
"I need more."
"I need the children. Hey, give me the children."
I did see someone mention, goes, "Well, why shouldn't didn't she just, like, hypnotize the kid?" But, like, no, she needed someone to go and keep them all alive, which and get chicken soup.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't get this, sponsored by Campbell's, man, or,
Fucking
Heinz.
Coca-Cola, man. It's the third or fourth film I've seen in the recent days that's been sponsored by Coca-Cola. That's a Dr. Pepper nil.
I know. I'm indie.
We need a roads brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Uh,
Please. Dr. Pepper Zero. It's so misunderstood. We remember the advert.
but anyway, yeah, the kid,
Alex.
the trauma, man. That kid's gonna have some serious therapy bills.
I mean, I don't know if he's gonna have as bad a therapy bills as the kid from, Bring Her Back, but,
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like he
Jesus.
might have won there.
They're both. I mean, they're both gonna need some serious therapy when they're older. Uh, I mean, the scene where he first sees his dad because his dad doesn't pick him up from school. He
But
goes home,
that scene in
sees
the
his dad,
face.
and so witch lady's got to set a threat right
Yeah.
straight away. Set the
I'll kill
boundary.
your parents, which for kids is obviously
I'll not just kill your parents. I will make them eat each other.
oh, shit, yeah.
Fucking dark shit right there. I mean, make them eat each other, and then that fork scene where they just start stabbing themselves in the face with the fork.
Fucking hell.
Fork me, man. That was the both of them just. Wow, it
Nasty.
was bleak. And then, so have you seen some of the posters as well, where it's the shot of like a drawing, the kid's drawing of that scene of the parents, and they've just got
Oh,
like
no.
little red dots on their face.
Because we wouldn't have known that until you
Oh,
see the film, would you?
it's
So,
so good.
one thing I really want to talk about is the tone of the film. Like, I was not expecting to laugh almost as much in this film as I did in The Naked Gun, because that was an outright studio comedy, and this is billed as a horror film. And it was funny that in horror films, especially in a cinema, you get people who can't deal with horror films, and so their reaction is to, like, laugh and like, "Oh, that's stupid, eh." And there was
Or
one
just
not
laugh because it's silly. Like some horror films are silly. Like
yeah,
Saw. Saw's a silly horror film.
but the example was in my screening, there was this one at first knobhead, I'm gonna say at the start, who with the first couple of times you see the kids, like, running the thing, he just started laughing, and I was like, "This is serious, man. This is a horror film." And then, like, as the film started getting funnier, I was like, "Okay, wait a minute, it is funny. It is gonna be that fair play." And I could just and also I was like, "This is just that person's way of dealing with the uncomfortableness of it."
Yeah, I think the comedy aspect of it also added to that unpredictability throughout the entire film. Like you didn't know where tonally the film was going to go next as well. Like
Oh,
whether they're
and
going to just throw in a random fucking hilarious joke in there, or whether it was going to go down the "I'm going to eat your parents" route. You know, where was the film going to take you?
yeah, was he gonna go full Scott Tenorman? That's a South Park reference, if anyone gets it.
Yeah, I no, I got it. The
Did you? Yay!
yeah, I got it. Yeah, like the only time where I didn't find it as funny tonally was the bit where everybody else in the cinema found really funny, which was the kids running at the end
Oh,
and
that
it
was
going from
hilarious.
like random shot to random shot of people's reactions to it. And
That was you didn't find that as funny?
I didn't find it as funny as other bits in the film. No, the film never had a proper laugh out loud moment for me, but it
That
had a
was it.
like,
In my
but
screening, that was it.
it had like a oh that's kind of funny sort of thing.
People were pissing themselves at that because you were, like, shocked, and then when you saw them start, like, just ripping Aunt Gladys apart, people were, like, absolutely, like, shock horror. But then when the kids were running through the car and they're just running through doors.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Chicken Soup. See, chicken soup powered zombie kids, man. It was just, like, awesome. In that sequence, you're literally almost shot to shot horrified terrified, and laughing your ass off. And that is so hard to walk that tonal line in a film, let alone in the same sequence. So, absolutely loved it, man. Now, one thing I want to get into is this film has sparked a massive debate about the film's deeper meaning. Here are some of the theories that were online. It's an allegory for school shootings and how kids aren't safe in the classroom in modern America, like when we see Archer Brolin's character visualize a giant gun above the house. Or it's wider about how quickly people can be weaponized against each other in the modern day and how the situation of the missing children weaponizes the town against teacher Justine even without Aunt Gladys fuckery. But director Kreger himself said it wasn't his goal to explore the core of communal trauma or mock suburban life or to create a school shooting allegory, as someone suggested. He said this in an article with the playlist, saying, I wasn't trying to comment or even tap into a collective societal tragedy. I was writing purely from a personal place. However, with art and especially storytelling, the individual is universal. So I'm more than happy if anyone relates to what I went through and what this movie is examining, but I wasn't thinking, oh, America at all. I was thinking, oh, Zach. Instead, he said that Weapons was his attempt at processing the death of a close friend and that someone close to him died suddenly. And he was that grief stricken that he just wrote Weapons, not out of ambition, but just as a way to reckon with his own emotions. Even the movie title itself, which seems to be a reference to the way all the ways as we as humans can be weaponized against each other, was apparently meant to be ambiguous. He said, I've heard a few people articulate why it's called that, and I think they're all right. I think it's all legal. So I guess if we take what he said,
I think I really like the school shootings, um,
you might want to
like
phrase that a
viewpoint
little
of
bit.
it. No. I really like the
Less of a
school
gap.
shootings view of seeing the movie from that because you would have a classroom that's just gone after something like that, and there would be maybe
Survivors,
one survivor,
yeah,
maybe the teacher might survive, or and then there would be
and the
people pointing
parents.
blame in the community, and
Mm,
then there would be people who have got to deal with the fact that this has happened and the community's got to move on and the fallout of that. And that's sort of where this film starts, is the
yeah,
fallout of two
I can
months or three
absolutely see
months
that.
after a school shooting happening. So I really like that angle of it. And I kind of, even though it's come from his mouth, I kind of don't believe that it is like he didn't have any kind of subtext written for this film, because Barbarian, his other film, had brilliant subtext about sexism and how a woman going through life has to be really cautious and careful about everything that she's doing, but a bloke goes through life and it's just so fucking blasé and free will about it. And it was so like purposefully wonderfully done in that film. I like surely Craig had some sort of really deep subtext to this as well, just threaded throughout. And I feel like the school shootings one is the one that really works well.
Do you think he probably has? But obviously, with so many people attributing it to it, he's just going to be told, "Do you know what? The more the conversation around what it is grows, the more people are going to be promoting the film for free by keeping it in the public sphere and talking about it. Whereas if you say outright, it's about this is a subtext, or this was one of the ideas behind it, then it closes all that down, maybe. So perhaps he, or like the studio can be like, do you know what? Encourage the debate.
Encourage thought, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah, potentially. If that is the case, it's working because
yeah,
they're
right.
they're there.
Now, and one thing I also want to talk about in that is that the voiceover at the start, which of course comes in again at the end, but I loved how the film handled the aftermath. Because how many horror films have you seen where when you have the traditional witchy ending, where whatever the monster is killed and who's like
Yeah. Boop,
hypnotized,
everyone's back together and everybody's
everyone's
normal again. Oh,
whoa! I've just
yeah.
woken up. What was going on?
Throwing some water on the witch and everyone's good again. Everyone's happy.
No, in this film, everyone is fucked still afterwards. Alex's parents basically end up in an institution, and the voiceover says only years later, some of the kids have begun to speak. Consequences, David. Marie's favorite word for film in
Yeah.
film. There's
Yeah.
actual consequences.
There is. There's real life consequences, like the trauma. Again, it's like you could say attributed to school shit, like the trauma of it, like the trauma of those kids that have survived it, or and I feel like it's the length of the control that the person had over the individuals
Hmm.
um has gone into their like brain just becoming just pretty mindless. There was that scene on the telly which felt pretty important, where they're talking about the ants during Wong's scene with his husband, or
There's
And
stuff about parasites on the board
yeah,
at
and like
school as
it
well.
felt very like The Last of Us and how zombies were created with like fungus and something.
And I'm not sure how like a spiky twig is used to
Yeah, they
create
compared
spells.
like an ant to it.
And shall we move on to the anything else on the good?
That was a lot of good.
That was a lot of good.
I mean,
There was
this
a
was a
lot of
good
good.
film. Yeah.
Let's move on to the bad, and I only really have one and a half. No, two. I got two things on the bad. And the first one is my main issue with the film. And again, this is more, as I said in my non spoiler review, which you can see on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I had a problem with the reveal because once we get the reveal that Amy Madigan's long legs, sorry, Aunt Gladys, is some kind of witch succubus that keeps children in the basement to feed off them. Look, it was well executed. It made narrative sense, as we mentioned, all the stuff to do with parasites, the writing on the school board, the stuff with the ants. But I thought the setup was better than the reveal. Like we said earlier on in the episode, with that build up, it could have been so many things. What the reason? And I would have liked something a little bit more original.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked it to be a different reason. I think what we hinted at earlier, that something to do with the phone tower on kids and phones, that could have been a really good point to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the kids on phones thing, but I think the I think the reveal was brilliant. I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
the
yeah.
reveal was brilliantly done. It
It's the
was
why.
the
I was
the
like, "Oh,
reason why after the build up of the mystery as did
yeah.
feel a bit flat to me as well.
Mm."
I think maybe if it did go a little bit darker with it, where maybe you saw some of the kids that she'd been like sort of
Had
like
fed
energy
them.
feeding on, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
You don't really know. Like actual maybe as like husks
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
floor.
Yeah, have a
Uh
few husks. Go
uh,
for a few
See a
husks.
couple of them like that, and then you're like, That's fucking dark, messed up." Maybe something like that. Maybe because yeah, I feel like the mystery is amazing, and you're boggling your brain about everything. And I think because you've got in your mind early on witch, because the community has branded the teacher a witch. You can't. So when it is a witch sort of
Which yeah.
character, you're like, oh okay. It's kind of that like oh okay kind of reaction
Mm.
instead of it being like a oh okay yeah and like you can have and when a film sort of does fall a little flat in its not like it didn't fall off a cliff like
No, no.
let's be clear yeah
That's
like
what
it
I
just
said. It was a me problem, not a film problem. It like for the film, it works perfectly well.
yeah
I just
yeah
wanted it to be something different, I think.
I was happy with what it was. uh, Maybe I'm messed up and I just wanted it to be a bit darker.
I believe
It
one of
was
the other
pretty
things you
dark already.
yeah, because we were talking before we started recording, he's like, I think I would have liked a few more deaths." How many deaths were there? Was like 4?
Four or five,
Yeah.
five, four. Yeah, I think in Barbarian there was only like four as well though.
But then you were saying about, "I wish some of the deaths could be more epic," but we did remember almost all of them. It was like
We
Wong
did, but we did have a couple like, oh yeah, deaths, didn't we?
there was Wong splattered by the car, there was Wong's husband
Wong's
getting
husband
his
headbutted.
head butted.
There was James that had his brains blown out, I think, by the
I didn't
teacher.
remember James.
There was the cop that had his neck shot and then his head shot.
See, they didn't jump
There,
to
see,
me.
they're the ones that are like, oh yeah, death murders,
And
and
then,
then
of course,
obviously the
dismemberment by children.
yeah.
I thought the memorable ones were very memorable, though. I have reductively seen this called "If Longlegs Nailed the Ending," which I think is a bit unfair because I really enjoyed that, but I do agree with that where it
I
is a
can
lot of
see the
style over substance.
comparisons. Yeah,
Well, the comparisons are only because Aunt Gladys looks a little bit like Nicolas Cage's character. That's it, to be fair. And it's a very stylishly shot,
yeah. This was like
dread-driven
a
film.
police procedural though. It wasn't you know,
No, but it did a similar
POV.
thing where it jumped around in the story as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
In terms of the
yeah.
timing. So not the same kind of narrative, but and what I like is, and I think this is why horror's doing so well at the minute, it's getting away from linear horror storytelling. We're getting like creative ways of telling films and doing ideas, which is what we want. One for Marie, even though she'll never watch this, they did have the trope of killing the gay characters. There is a trope of killing your gays, apparently, and when you have like the gay character in the film, or especially in a horror film, they're usually the one who gets killed. And they killed two of them here. They actually had them kill each other. So
So it did have that, but it was done so well, Marie. You need to watch it to see how well it was done.
I mean, I feel like she could
She
probably
probably won't
listen
like
to
that,
this.
but yeah.
She could probably listen to this review, watch this review, and then go watch it and just close her eyes at that scene. Any other things on the bad, David?
The only thing that I didn't like was jump scare in the basement. So when the dad, Archer, is looking for his son, and he's like, what was his son's name again? His son was the little shit in school that like threw the pencil at Alex.
A little shit at
Um,
school through the
the
pencils,
little
that'll do.
shit in school. Yeah. Anyway, he was looking for him, and he's like going throughout him, and then you see the witch sort of like balled up in a ball
Yeah.
as his
And
phone
going,
like gets to
"Ah!"
her, and then it's like yeah. That
She should have been feeding on the child.
she should have been. She should have been. Yeah, 100%. There should have been either her seeing her feeding on one of the kids, maybe his kid.
His son,
Yeah,
yes.
that would have been fucking cool. Or just don't
Cheddar
have her like
agrees.
why I just didn't I had just questions there. Why was she
Yeah.
down there in the first place? The jump scare just felt like a regular jump scare in any other horror film ever.
Wasn't it
It
very
didn't
similar to a
feel like
shot in Barbarian as well?
yeah, it didn't feel like a very good well done jump scare. It
Mm,
felt like the most telegraphed and obvious one that there was. They did leave like a little bit of like misdirection with having the two parents on guard in the room where you think she is, where she
mm.
probably should have been. No, like she was downstairs, apparently in the basement, just crouched in the corner,
Waiting to
chilling.
go,
Yeah,
"Rah!"
yeah. That I was like, I was a bit like, oh, okay. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that just from a like a horror perspective that disappointed me with this film because I was like, do that. Come on.
Now moving on to the what the fuck, we've kind of talked about 3 of them already, so there's only one really. So the 3 things that I just when I first watched it, I was like, "What the fuck?" Was the gun above the house that Archer sees. What does it mean?
Whatever you want it to mean, I
Basically.
suppose.
Exactly, basically from what the director said. Gore! Wong headbutting his husband to death and then getting exploded on the road. Holy balls.
Holy
That
and just getting ripped to shreds by the children. By children doing it. That's what I want to
that's
see. I want to see children ripping humans apart, dismembering them.
the kid's revenge on Aunt Gladys. Just that perfect
Yes.
mix of horror, comedy, and gore all in the same scene. The only other what the fuck is this film could have been completely fucking different because it had initially been cast with a completely different cast. But then with the 2023 Hollywood strikes and the writer strikes and all that kind of stuff, all the main actors had to drop out and be replaced. So Archer, Josh Brolin's character, was originally going to be played by the man who's in everything this year, Pedro Pascal. Can you have too much Pedro Pascal? I think he might
Honestly,
if he'd been in this,
of course it was going to be Pedro Pascal.
right? Yeah. He was also apparently going to be in The Naked Gun. He was also going to be in Freaky Friday 2. And I believe he's supposed to be in. What am I
He was
seeing
the
right
person
now?
they were going to bring back.
He was Chuck
Uh,
in Life for Chuck. That surprised me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Pedro Pascal was supposed to be. And, you could see it, right? Like the whole thing. He could do that role in his sleep. Oh, my kid's gone missing. You're like, yeah, okay, Pedro, we know you can do that. You know,
Yeah,
very
to
well.
be
Let
fair,
someone else. Let
he's
someone else
good.
eat.
He's good in everything, and he would play the like. You can imagine him being like that Last of Us, like Ellie
Yeah.
loving dad.
He'd just be Joel, wouldn't he? And there's zombies in it as
I'm
well.
all right with Joel being in it,
Wong
but I
Biz?
was happy it was Josh Brolin. In fact, I was happy with the entire cast. What the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
cast is amazing.
No notes. Whole
Mm,
cast brilliant. You had Renetta Renzi, who was the Danish actress who was in the indie film The Worst Person in the World a few years back, and she's done a few things. I think she played someone in the Apple TV version of Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. She was in that.
okay, who is she going to be playing?
She would have been playing the school teacher, Judy Garner's role. Then you had Brian Tyree Henry was going to be playing Wong's role as a principal, and I think British actor Tom Burke was going to be playing the cop. So
Okay,
completely different main cast there.
I'm
Completely.
happy with what they went with. Yeah,
So all we have to say, David, is this a recommendation, and what do you give it out of 5?
it's 100% a recommendation. 100% a recommendation. I'd see it like I'd recommend you see it in the cinema if you
As
haven't
soon as
already seen
possible.
it, but we've pretty much spoiled everything for you. So I hope you have already seen this. And
Otherwise, why are you still listening?
yeah,
Go to the
4.5.
cinema, watch it.
It's gets a 4.5.
Yeah, for me, I always overmark stuff, so I walked out and was like 5, and then I think because when I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, I'm kind of the reveal. I would have liked a different why. So I did dock it half a point. So I'm giving it a 4.5 as well. So, David, like a small child running into the woods, that's all the time we have on this episode of the We Need Roads podcast. I'd like to thank my co-host David, and where can people find you on the socials?
They can find me on Instagram at We Needed Roads. You can also follow me on Blue Sky at Long D, Long dot D, sorry, at Blue Sky. And
I
wait, no,
believe
that's
that's it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
that's it.
And you can find me at Needed Roads on Twitter, Neil Gregory78 on Instagram and Threads, and Neil G78 on Blue Sky. And you can even follow me on my Substack at Neil Needed Roads, where all the podcast stuff goes up, as well as my music reviews and just other random articles. I'm just writing loads of stuff. I even have a paid subscriber now. Basically, I'll be able to retire soon because I believe that's how the internet works and all these social blogging sites. So, yay. And for more We Need to Know shenanigans, you can find us on Spotify, also here on YouTube, hopefully where you've been watching this. And you can find our full library of episodes. So if you like what you've heard, you can hit that bell icon and subscribe. We also upload loads of short form content. I believe, David, you may be gracing us with a Life of Chuck
I'm
short
gonna
review soon.
try and do a Life of Chuck short,
Maybe
yeah.
by the time this comes out, we will have been watching Alien Earth. So my Please Don't Kill Lily Newmark video should be out by now and hopefully doing very well. Please don't kill Nibs. Do you know what? Nibs could be dead already, David. She could be dead
She could
already.
have never been alive.
We don't know. There's just so much stuff. So much stuff. Subscribe, follow our YouTube, follow our TikTok. That's where all our short form content goes. And don't forget to leave us a comment on this video and let us know what you thought about the weapons. Let us know and we'll read out the best comments on our future episode. So make sure to join us next time on your favourite chicken soup powered pop culture podcast. See you then.
We Needed Roads.
What are you looking at,